If you're a service-based business and you're trying to scale or get past your revenue ceiling from like $2 to $3 million per year, and you're using an SEO agency or really any marketing agency at all, in most cases, you should fire them. And I'm going to get into the reasoning behind why I think that, because I am an SEO agency owner and it doesn't make sense for me to say fire your agency. But I think in a lot of cases, from what we've seen with our own clients and just businesses that I've talked to over the years, most people are not ready to hire an SEO agency. They don't know what they need. They don't know what they're looking for. And then they just get screwed over. Over 90% of our clients come to us after working with another agency. And again, this doesn't just relate to SEO. This is really any marketing services. It could be organic content. It could be an ad agency, email marketing. The same principles apply pretty much across the board. But the first reason you should fire your SEO agency is because it's not adding long-term value to your business. And so this doesn't apply to every single SEO agency. Obviously, I'm a big proponent of my own company. We do great work and we take on the clients that I think need SEO the most. But in a lot of cases, it's not adding long-term value to your business, because when you hire an SEO agency to do work for you, in most cases, you have no idea what they're going to be doing. You don't even know how SEO works. And so in that case, they have all the power, because if you switch from that company or you turn off the SEO, you stop paying, you're not going to get results anymore and you're not going to see that, and you can't replicate it internally either. We just had an example with a client who they stopped paying for SEO because they were taking everything internal. Everything was going to their team of employees that they pay. And so what we did, instead of just stopping the SEO, is we taught them our entire method. We gave them literally our entire SOP strategy document for how we do SEO so they could just replicate it internally. And I'll throw up some screenshots here, but their SEO has actually improved substantially since taking everything internal and just using the tutorials that we've made for them. This is a great example, but it often doesn't happen like this. You're not going to see an SEO agency that will just show you everything that they do right off the bat. Most people want to keep it a secret so that they have all the power in the business and agency relationship. And it almost never turns out well. Like I mentioned, most of our clients come to us after being screwed over by another marketing agency. So if you're in that situation where you're working with an SEO company and they pretty much own all of the strategies and frameworks internally, like in their own company, you can't replicate those results, and you need to fire them, or at least get them to explain how they do their work, so that you can see how it works. And then in the future, when you ultimately do take everything internal, you can replicate the results and continue to grow and scale that channel. The second problem or reason why you would fire your agency, which again happens in over 90% of cases, is they're tracking the wrong metrics and that are not leading back to revenue generating activities. If your SEO agency cannot show you an increase in revenue over a specified time frame, then you have no idea the money that you're putting into SEO, if it's actually returning money back to your bank account. This doesn't just happen with SEO. It's email, it's print, it's ads, it's organic social. Every channel, you're able to track back based on your spend, how much money that's generated to you in terms of leads and then in terms of closed customers. Again, if your SEO agency can't do that for you and you're kind of just going off of gut feel on a monthly basis, which most business owners do when it comes to the numbers, then you can't scale that channel. It's impossible to grow it because you don't know the numbers. If you put $2,000 or $3,000 per month into SEO, but you have no idea how much you're getting back, you don't know how much an extra $1,000 or $2,000 or $10,000 per month is going to make you in revenue. That's not something that's sustainable for your business, especially if you're trying to grow and scale it. So that's the second reason to fire your agency. The third and final reason is that they own all the systems. This is like the biggest problem that we see with our clients when they come to work with us, is that their previous agency, they own the website hosting, they own the domain, they own the Google Search Console, the Google Analytics, the Google Tag Manager, all of the back-end systems that come with SEO. Again, same for pretty much every other type of marketing agency. They own it all. They set everything up themselves. And so when you stop working with them, they can pretty much turn off everything. Even when you're still working with them, they have the power to just turn your entire website off, your entire SEO sitemap. They can take all of your pages down from Google overnight. They have that power and you do not. So there's no long-term value in that, and there's no short-term value in that for you as a business. And then when it comes to switching to a different agency or taking everything internal or just switching systems in general, they get very protective over that. And so when you tell them, hey, I'm switching to a different agency, I want to end my contract with you, they don't like that, and they tend to make things as hard as possible. So switching to a different host, a different provider, etc., is just going to be a pain in the ass. And this doesn't always constitute firing your agency, but if they own all of your systems, the ones that I just mentioned, the main ones being the website hosting and the domain hosting, then you want to make sure that you own those things and you're hosting them on your end internally, like with your tech team, or just yourself if you're operating the business mostly by yourself. Make sure you own that. You're paying for it out of pocket directly to a hosting provider, because that way, when you do decide to switch ultimately sometime in the future, it'll make things way easier. And if they're hesitant to give up those things to you, that is a huge red flag that should constitute firing your agency. At the end of the day, every case is going to be different. I don't think every reason that I listed in this video is a reason to go and fire your agency just right away after watching this video without thinking about it. Every case is slightly different. You have to weigh the pros and cons for your own business and where you're at currently. But I do think that most people go into an agency relationship with the wrong mindset that this agency is just going to solve all of their problems. They just see the green flags, they don't see the red flags, and because of that, they get screwed over. We see it countless times. Like I mentioned, almost every single client that comes to work with us has been screwed over by an agency or has just gotten out of their SEO agency relationship, and now they're very skeptical of the next steps. And like I also mentioned, there are great cases for an SEO agency. I mean, I wouldn't have an SEO company if I didn't think that. And I love our team. I love our clients. I think we do great work. I mean, if you go to our website, the results kind of speak for themselves. But I will not take on a client if I don't think that SEO is right for them or they're not ready for it. And so you want to go into every agency relationship knowing what the goal is for your business and the enterprise value that you want to build. Again, if you're going into it just thinking that this agency is going to solve your problems and you're just seeing the green grass on the other side, you're getting blinded by all these possible red flags that could be going on. These are just things that you want to watch out for when you're hiring an agency. Know how SEO works. Do some research into the process so you can understand what they're doing. And then ultimately, as your business grows and you do take it internal, you take the SEO in-house from an agency, you should be able to replicate the results that agency got you. In a lot of cases, you just want to learn from this agency. Pay them to teach you how they're doing things, like we did with that client I showed you at the start of the video. So overall, I hope this helps. Don't just go and fire your agency for the sake of firing them, but weigh the pros and cons and make sure you're working with the right people. Unfortunately, in most cases, you're not going to be working with a good SEO agency or good marketing agency. If you're watching this video, you probably are not, and you do want to fire them. So find the right person. And if you want to do more research on SEO and understand the ins and outs of local SEO, service-based SEO, check out my channel. I've got a bunch of videos on that. If you want to get in touch with me directly, talk about SEO, see if it'd be right for you, click the link in the description. You can check out my website and case studies. But I hope this was helpful, and I'll catch you in the next one.